let's start at the start. The campaign. Good campaign, running good campaign, smart campaign. God bless you. I was running another campaign at the same time.
I know you were.
Definitely. So you did a lot of smart things, a lot of good things. And what?
Yes.
And part of that winning, though, was that you had to make some concessions with, I would presume, with Parsley's people to take 3 of those of his winners on your ticket. Mm-hmm. And is that part of your problem now? Is that you didn't get your whole team on there?
Well, not really, because I was hoping I could get my whole team in there. But as the results came in, of course, 3 of my people didn't make it. And of course, they told me that, it would be nice to have a whole ticket running. It will show that there's strength in numbers, and there's 5 people with you. So, of course, when I heard that 3 people from Barcy's team made it, then I decided to reach out to them. But with the understanding that, that I had nothing to do with Barcy, that if I was going to talk to them, that they would be independent from Barcy, and that they would understand that the campaign I was running, they would be on the same page as to my platform, my vision, our vision for the city of Vineland. And we had a meeting prior to that to make sure that everybody was understanding on that part, that yes, we believe what you're doing, and we want to help you reach those goals and the vision you have for this great city of Vineland. So with that understanding that they were very independent from Barcy, I embraced them to come into our team.
Okay. Well, and you were very successful, obviously.
Yes.
You got the whole team elected for it. Now, after the election, were there any hints that things were going to go wrong, or did it just go along for a while with no problems?
I didn't see anything, because I see that they were all working together, and they were working with me alongside of me. The only thing that I did before running, is that when I sat down with them, all of them, even the 2 people that won my team, I told them the one thing I would hope and expect from you, all of you, I says, there will be times where we will agree to disagree, all right? And if there's something that, you feel strong about that you need to talk about, I says, please, let's talk like family. We sit down and we talk about it before we go to the media, because the media will take every opportunity for something small, something, whatever it might be, issue, and blow it out of proportion. And guess what? Then we start looking bad, because then they're going to start looking for any little thing. That's all I ask from them, all of them. So, knowing that, and then what transpired afterwards, that's when I said, oh man, come on. I don't believe you did that. You went there. And that's when I seen that the separation started happening. And one of the councilmen right away went to the media and said, I'm not communicating, and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And then I seen that now I see something different about them. They have a personal agenda.
Right. Now, all of the things that I hear, and I still hear things, pretty much all involve Mr. Lutz and Tanetta. Mm-hmm. It's just everything seems to always come back to that. And if I understand correctly, council was a part of both of those processes of hiring Tanetta as the city solicitor, and a part of the process of hiring Mr. Lutz.
That's right.
Well then, how is it all of a sudden just your problem that they're having problems with these people, or you're having problems with? And I don't understand how that could even be a problem if you want to fire somebody who sits at your will.
Yes.
Yeah. You should be able to let them go.
Exactly. That's where we started having some conflicts, because we had a gentleman's agreement, Mr. Tenet and I. He came to me. I didn't come to him. He came to me. He says, Mayor, if for any reason you feel that I'm not doing my job and you're not happy with my work, you let me know, I will resign. I had no problem. In other words, he's let me know ahead of time, so this way I don't have to do something and make him look bad in any way. And I agree. I said, thank you, no problem. And in the beginning, everything was going good. He, responding, and I was seeing some things productive. But then, as time went on, I started seeing some different things that were happening, and then that's when I said, something, when you lose your trust and your confidence on the one you're depending on the information, guess what? You better do something quick.
Yeah.
And I'll say that to anyone. If you have, in other words, if you have a lawyer, and your lawyer's not being straightforward in a way, if I could use that word, and you're not happy with the work he's doing for you, if whatever case might be, if it's a lawsuit, whatever case might be, you're not happy with his results, guess what? You have every right to say, listen, thank you for your time. I appreciate your time, but I must move on, and I'm going to have to get another lawyer that'll be willing to do what I have to do here. You have that right? Guess what? I have that right too.
Well, was it any specific thing? Was it because I've heard stories, and maybe you can't talk about this, that it had to do with the judge appointment. Sure. Or was it any one specific thing with Mr. Tenet?
No, I was just in general. I wasn't happy at his work. After a while, I started seeing some things, and in general, I wasn't happy at all. And when I seen that, then I called to his attention, and I says, I called him in on that. I said, listen, I appreciate the time you put in, but I'm taking the city in another direction right now, and I'm just not happy with your work, and I would like you to resign. And
did he? This is part of the story that I missed. Did he refuse to resign?
Yeah, when I called him in, I had my witnesses with me. We sat down, and I explained to him I wasn't happy. I'm taking the city in another direction. I lost my trust and my confidence, and he understood that. And when I said that, then I told him, well, you told me that, as a gentleman, you told me that if I wasn't happy, that you will resign, and I'm giving you the opportunity right now. And he looked at me. He didn't want to do it. I said, well, it's up to you. I said, if you don't want to do that, then you don't give me no other recourse but to terminate you. And he didn't care. He said, well, do what you got to do. And that's what I had to do, because he didn't honor his word that he gave me, that he would resign as a gentleman. And I had that right, as the executive branch of government. I have that right.
Sure.
But they took that away from me, because then that's when the council came in and tried to interfere. And that's where I have a problem, because in any form of government under the Cork Act government we're in, I have that duty, and I have that way that I can dismiss someone, because they're on your, they're not there as a how can I say?
They serve
long term. They serve under the will of the mayor, as long as he's in power, as long as he's mayor of the city, in other words. If I'm there 4 years, he's there 4 years. 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. That's all they're there for. That's the difference, where all these positions as directors, they're at the will of the mayor.
Excuse me. And now, with regards to the Lutz thing, with regards to Lutz, now you probably can't speak to a lot of those things, because it's involved. There's litigation involved.
Right.
I would think now. I was surprised though at the Mr. Palmer coming out with his statement against Lutz, and I don't understand that, because it's.
I couldn't understand that. I'll tell you why, and I can't get into specifics because of the case.
Right.
I was surprised because he's coming from a different angle. He is coming from the angle of the, he has an authority, I would say it's an authority of the city, but a separate entity from the city.
Okay. You're speaking of Mr. Palmer now.
Yes, and I would say, so I was surprised that he would get involved in something of the city. And that's what I could understand why that happened that way, that he was so open to speak against an administrator, someone that works for the administration in the city of Vineland. And I couldn't understand that part, how it all came about. But coming in, when we hired Mr. Lutz, we went through quite a few candidates. We went through a lot of candidates because we did this a national search. And we came with the best five. Went out to the best five. And as we were going through each one, they were all exceptional. So they were all exceptional people. They were great. And as we went through the interview, myself and Mr. Lee Tuffanelli, we were going through everything. And he was a little different. They call him like a little, people quirky. They call him quirky, whatever. A little unique in his ways. But man, the guy answered some good questions, and he knew what he was talking about. And I liked what he was saying in the interviews. Even though there was one that we were considering, but this person was from way out of town. And this person seemed like it would have been the right person to hire. But one question I asked, and it was this, towards the end. She was leaving her position because of change in the administration. A new mayor came in. And she was looking for work. She was from way out of town. Doesn't know the area, but she applied for this position in the city of Vineland. And was excellent questioner, sharp. Lady was a lady. And I waited towards the end, and I asked her, listen, Mrs. So-so, if things were to change where you're coming from, and they gave you an opportunity to come back and work under the administration, would you be willing to go back? She was like shocked, opened her eyes. Yeah. Says, like, why you ask? Like, she was shocked for me to ask that question. But she had no other choice. She was honest. She was very honest. She says, you know something? I probably would. So when I seen that, I mean, she was really committed. If she were coming to me, it was like she was looking for opportunity. But who knows if she was just coming to just apply and maybe to gain something over there, because if she leaves there, then they'll offer something better. Or I don't know. I took it like, it's not, you're not really committed. You're just here because as an interview, and over there, who knows if they'll offer you, you're going to stay over there. So why bother coming here now? So I took it like, she was in shock. I could tell she wasn't surprised that I asked that question. So I threw her off the guard like that, but it told me a lot. I said, well, then it was like this won't be the person. I guess this is not the person. I wish her. She had an opportunity to say, no, I want to come here. And she said, no, I will stay. So that person we couldn't hire. And then that's when we came back to the other four left. And then that's when he was the one that kind of was the best candidate. And nobody applied from the city of Vineland. Nobody. I couldn't believe it. Nobody applied from the city of Vineland.
Well, I've heard this, and you can address it or not address it, that Lutz was a guy that you got as part of the support that you got from the Camden people.
No, because I didn't get no support from Camden, no.
No?
No.
I didn't have any.
No, I got support from North Jersey. I got support.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got support from North Jersey. Camden, no, not at all. No.
Well, that's a good thing to hear, because that's one of those stories that's out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, not Camden. No, not at all. No.
Well, let's get to the real nuts of this thing now, and that's this recall petition. Why is that going on? What's the real story of that going on? Because it started when you really started to flex your muscle as a mayor to make
You could say that.
mayoral decisions that maybe were against some of the grain, maybe rub some of the people the wrong way, because this seems to be more than anything a personal vendetta against you. I mean, they're not saying that you were corrupt. They're not saying that you did anything really wrong. They're saying that they don't like you. That's not the way politics works. You
That's
were
no
elected
reason.
by the people. Yeah, there's no reason. You were elected by the people and not given a chance to do the job that they elected you to do. And you address this.
Well, I believe, and I still believe in this great country we call United States of America, and we live on the system that's democracy, and it's democracy for all. So if past administrations have served for their term, 4 years, mayors that have been here in the past, they served their time, the 4 years. I don't recall or heard, to my knowledge, in history that they have recalled mayor because they didn't like him or they didn't like the color outfit he was wearing or something he was wearing. I didn't call for no reason or they would call anybody. I come in, the people chose, they wanted a change, and I ran on change. That will bring change to government. So now you're taking away the power of the people to elect who they feel want them to represent them. That's what you're actually telling these other people that voted for me to go in office and make the changes necessary to move the city forward. So you're taking away their rights, in a way. If I did something wrong, illegal, bribe, anything, if I did something wrong, then you have every right. Go ahead. Do what you guys do. You have the rights to do that. But I've never done anything wrong. I'm moving the city forward. And sometimes people don't like change. But sometimes change is necessary to move the city forward. And that's where I ran to a little roadblock in a way, if I could say that, with the system, with what's going on in our city. But the people elected me, and that should be respected. That's all I could say. If the person that's behind us, which is the previous mayor, got involved, and I think it's wrong because he served his time, and the people voted him out. If they wanted him there, they would have kept him there.
You're speaking of Romano.
Yeah, so we're Romano. So if they want him, they should go to stay. But they want to change, so change has happened. So why is he going against the system that we're under? That once someone gets voted in, give him the respect he deserves for the 4 years like anybody else. I gave him that respect. I didn't go against him. I didn't go out there tell him that he's a bad guy. I don't like him. I don't like the way he's running the city. Let's get him out. No, I've always been supportive. So I can't understand that part when he's just doing this to me and using people in the community for whatever reason to follow him. And it doesn't make any sense. To me, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't to me either. So. But it is what it is, and you hear a lot of it out there. I can't imagine it being successful. I really can't. What else? I know what I wanted to ask you is with regards to the audit of the Landis Theater project.
Oh, the Landis Theater project.
What's happening with that?
As you're well aware, coming in, I faced, I inherited that, okay? I don't think that was handled right from the beginning, to be honest with you. When you get involved with something like that, a project that big, you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed and make sure you have someone that knows the business, the theater business. And you have to have a plan in place, but a long-term plan so that you won't have no failures down the road. And for whatever reason, they have the people running the place, and it seemed like they won't really, I guess, not making any money or something. I guess they weren't doing well.
Do you think that was a part of that old boy network too? The old.
I think definitely, because that comes from the past administrations prior to the Romano's administration. Of
Yeah, it
course,
goes all the way back to the remodel.
way back, Barstow administration, of course. And when that took place, they did some kind of, I don't know how they arranged everything, but I don't believe they thought it out to make it successful, I'll be honest with you. For whatever reason, and a lot of people were complaining, contractors weren't being paid. There were so many things going on that they were concerned about the whole thing. The whole project itself, they were concerned.
You know, the timeline of it kind of was Pete Cacaro, who was the
President of City Council back on the remodels.
Under the Reynolds administration, asked for that forensic audit.
Yes.
Which I thought was a wonderful idea. That I think a forensic audit probably is something that every administration, new administration, should do every time it goes into office. But they're very expensive, but probably worthwhile.
Yes.
But anyway, and then it got tabled, I guess, because the administration changed.
It changed, yes.
Right.
But they were on it, and they were following up on it. And then when I came in, then they changed everything. But the people were speaking now, saying, you know something, Mayor, you should really look into this and consider that. Because we're on to something, and we felt that strong that something went wrong in the whole project. So as the administrator of the city, I had to make a decision, and that's when I waited a while to make sure that we were on the right course, on the right track as to how to approach this situation. So there was discussion back and forth, and Mr. Pete Cacaro came in one day to our work session and said how important this is, that we should be looking into this because there's something really went wrong. And then when he spoke out that evening, then that's when everybody in council, except one council member, couldn't vote for anything.
Yeah, right.
And so they said that, you know, definitely is something to reconsider. So they passed to continue the investigation. Up to now, we can't say nothing because it's still an investigation, so we don't know what's particulars right now.
But it is going forward?
Ongoing. Yes, ongoing right now,
Okay.
yes.
So there is going to be a forensic audit?
Yes. That's my knowledge, yes. This way, you know, it kind of clears the air a little bit.
Sure.
There's a cloud over us right now. So let's clear the air. Let's see what happens so that this way I can learn myself that I don't make that mistake under my administration.
Sure.
Whatever took place, okay, we learn from it. But let's put it on the table. This way we'll know that now we need to change things around. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here now, to make those changes. But they have to allow me to give me that opportunity. That let's wait and see what's going to happen. This way we'll know what we have to do. That we learn from the past. We don't do this again.
Now, there's one more thing that I wanted to ask you about, and I've lost my train of thought. We're going forward now. Do you feel confident that you can handle this council, that you can kind of
I think we can.
compromise, let's say, is the
there'll
great
be,
equalizer?
of course, there'll have to be some meeting of the minds, and talk things out. If they feel as strong as I do, and I feel very strong about the city, born and raised here all my life, 58 years I've been here, and I'm strong. My belief is that we can make this a better place. That when I leave office, I want to be confident that I made a difference. That's all I want. And that people can see that, you know, that your heart was there for the right reasons. I'm not here for any selfish reasons. I'm not gaining anything from this. I just feel that, you know, this boy here, this young boy was raised here in the city and riding my bike when I was a little kid. And I look at the accomplishments I was able to do while I was still here young, businessman for over 32 years now. And I've been involved with many organizations, non-profit organizations. So I contribute a lot to the city, but I want to give even more. my time and efforts to have our children someday stay here and not have to go away to another state because there's nothing there here for them. And that's what I've been trying to work hard at, job creation, but jobs that pay, have a decent, like they can make a decent living. Our sons and our daughters and our grandchildren are coming up, that they can say, boy, thank God that somebody was thinking about future, because we're looking more into the technology fields and we don't have nothing around here that we can, hold off and stay here. So in my campaign, I don't know if you remember, I talked about a technology school that we need instead of 2 years, 4 years. And the freeholders were going back and forth many years ago, and they couldn't do it for reason, funding, whatever reason. But finally, came in last year that, guess what, we're going to be able to do this together. And what I was saying all along in the campaign, now it's starting to happen. Now you see that finally they're understanding that we need better skilled jobs, which is in technology. And we're breaking ground pretty soon next to the college. That, to me, is worthwhile. So if I leave happy because finally we got, hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Finally we got something done, work together for a common goal and a cause that, yes, we can have good jobs around here. People can stay and live here. Your sons and your grandchildren can stay here and stay and build their lives here. This is what I want. If that can happen, and it's happening now, jobs are starting to come. Businesses are starting to expand. I love it. 2 businesses just expanded. I just went to see them. Safeway Freezers and Townsend company over here on the board that was Renox.
Oh, okay.
Expanded. Hired 25, 30 people. So since I took office, a lot of good things have happened. From a 15% unemployment to now we have a 10%. That says a lot. So things are happening. It's just a slow growth, but it's happening slowly. And this is what I want to see.
Now, how about the problem that you're having with the media? The
media hasn't been fair. I'll be upfront with you, Paul. It's very discouraging at times, to be honest with you, as a human being.
Did you really hang up on the?
No. What I did was, he kept talking and screaming a little bit, yelling. I said, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I gotta go right now. I'm sorry, and I didn't hang it up.
Right.
I just slowly put it down.
Yeah.
So because he kept talking. I said, no, I can't make no comments on what you want to know. I can't, because there's certain things that are confidential in the city. But he was very persistent. I said, no, I'm sorry, Ken, and I'm sorry, but I have to go right now. But I didn't hang up on him. That's not my style anyway.
No, I know. In all the years that I've known you, I've never known you to be rude or disrespectful.
No, I won't be rude like that. Never.
In a businessman, that's one of the first things you learn as a businessman.
No, you can't do that.
Customer is always right.
Yeah. He
Even
just didn't want to.
when they're wrong, they're right.
Sure, I've had him. I've had to deal with that. But he didn't want to. He just didn't want to. He kept going. I said, I'm sorry. I'll tell you, I can't speak to you right now. I'm sorry, and I just let it go. That's it. Because he was being a little rude, a little bit, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any trouble sitting down and talking to you, and you're sitting
I have no problem with nobody.
With me, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Mayor, thank you.
Thank you for the time, Paul.
Thank you for the time.
Yes, sir.